As we've discussed in previous videos, due to recent high-profile failures, particularly regarding the Charlie Kirk investigation, Donald Trump's FBI director, Kash Patel, appears to be in deep shit, especially behind the scenes, but it's becoming increasingly public. As you're about to see, Trump almost has to force himself when asked about Patel to try to praise him. MAGA influencers are not just calling for his resignation, but openly mocking him. And this culminated with a desperate, panicked Patel clashing with Democratic Senator Cory Booker just a few moments ago. And we have to talk about it. But before we do, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends. So this was Donald Trump this morning being asked about Kash Patel. And notice how he has to almost work himself up to try to do it in a way which looks good for Patel.
You don't have complete confidence in Kash Patel. What are you hoping comes from his testimony on the Hill today?
Well, first of all, I think that Pam Bondi has done an unbelievable job, and everybody agrees with that. And Kash, if you take a look at what he did with respect to this horrible person that he just captured. He did it in 2 days. It took other similar cases 4 days, 5 days, 4 years, if you look at certain shooters. Now, I have confidence in everybody in the administration. My administration, and a lot of people are saying it, not just me, it's so far the best administration ever formed.
Yeah, so he's full of shit there. It is one of the most wildly corrupt and incompetent administrations ever formed. But notice how he does it. So do you have any confidence in Kash Patel? Let me tell you, Pam Bondi is just killing it. She's just doing really good. Well, sir, what about Kash? Who? Oh, the rest of the administration is killing it. I mean, like it's so embarrassing. If I were Patel about to walk into a Senate testimony where I'll be under oath, I would be like, oh my God, this is not good. And again, this comes on the heels of, a bombshell Fox report that we discussed yesterday or the day before about how multiple administration sources think that he's in serious jeopardy professionally. It's not just Trump. It's not just Fox News reports. You also have Tim Dillon, this right-wing kind of libertarian-esque, very popular, very funny, MAGA-coded comedian who has tried really to support the Trump administration, but particularly regarding the Epstein files, has become increasingly critical. Well, he's now openly mocking, and it's pretty funny, openly mocking Kash Patel. So it's not just people calling for his resignation or his termination. They're making fun of him. And in MAGA land, that hits harder than anything.
If I had a dispute with DoorDash and Kash Patel was investigating it, would I get the credit? Would I get the DoorDash credit if Kash Patel was tasked with an investigation? Would I get the DoorDash credit or would I not? I imagine I would not. I imagine if there was a discrepancy on a DoorDash order, the head of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Kash Patel, would not be able to secure my credit of $11.90. What is this guy doing? I mean, the guy that did this to Charlie's, his parents turned him in. I mean, what could Kash Patel run? This is kind of an interesting question. What organization could Kash Patel run credibly? I don't know.
So while that was going, I mean, he's funny. He's just a really funny guy. That's a really funny way to put it. While that was going on, I was refreshing the page, and the Senate hearing that Kash Patel is in at the moment is not going well, folks. It's just really not going well. I'm gonna play this clip. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. There's so much going on today because what I just saw, he's clashing with Adam Schiff. He just clashed with Cory Booker. I don't know if that merits its own separate video or what, but I do want to give Dick Durbin, who is the ranking member on this particular committee, not a big fan of his. I think he means well, but very feckless. He's actually not seeking re-election. He's dipping out. Kudos to him for doing so. For after years of civil service, recognizing it's just not his time has come to move on. This is not the moment for him. He's not going to meet the moment. So best to just not seek re-election. Serious shout out to him for that. In his opening remarks, he pointed out some of Kash Patel's recent failures regarding the shooting of Charlie Kirk.
On the day of the horrific shooting of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University, Director Patel again sparked mass confusion by incorrectly claiming on social media that the shooter was in custody, which he then had to walk back with another social media post. Mr. Patel was so anxious to take credit for finding Mr. Kirk's assassin that he violated one of the basics of effective law enforcement. At critical stages of an investigation, shut up and let the professionals do their job. Notably, Director Patel recently forced out Special Agent in charge at Salt Lake City, Mayim Saeed, a counterterrorism expert with 20 years' experience, who would have led this high-profile investigation. The men and women who serve at the FBI and the American people deserve a director who has the ability and the character to restore the Bureau to its place as the preeminent law enforcement agency.
So, yeah, I'm probably going to cover the Senate clashes, which I'm looking at these and it's stunning. Probably in a separate video, but I also want to remind everybody that there are some other issues that Kash Patel is going to have to deal with. Just as a reminder, Patel now approaches congressional oversight hearings this coming week, facing not just questions about that investigation, the Charlie Kirk investigation, but broader doubts about whether he can stabilize a federal law enforcement agency fragmented by political fights and internal upheaval. So just to remind you, Democrats are poised to press Patel on a purge of senior executives that has prompted a lawsuit, his pursuit of Donald Trump's grievances long after the Russia investigation ended, and a realignment of resources that has prioritized the fight against illegal immigration and street crime, even though the agency has for decades been defined by its work on complicated threats like counterintelligence and public corruption. That's in addition to questions about the handling of the files from the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking case, the addition of a co-deputy director, Andrew Bailey, who was actually the Republican Attorney General, I believe, of Missouri. I think we covered this yesterday. And I'm looking here, like he's clashing with Republicans too. Kash Patel fumes at Republican senator during Epstein grilling. We have released all credible information. This is about the Epstein file. He's pissed that even Republicans are grilling him about the Epstein files mismanagement. So I'm just saying it's becoming a total shit show. The addition of a co-deputy director to serve along Dan Bongino, which I believe is unprecedented. It's like both Bongino and Patel, who are wildly unqualified for this job, have to actually have a babysitter in the form of a second co-deputy. And the use of polygraphs on some agents in recent months to identify source of leaks. Republicans, meanwhile, are likely to rally to his defense or redirect the spotlight towards the Bureau's critics. So, again, as we speak, that Senate hearing is going on. It is wild, and so we're going to cover that in a separate video. I just wanted to show you that Donald Trump does not seem to be particularly impressed with Kash Patel, and certainly prominent MAGA supporters are losing faith in him, calling for his resignation, grilling him in Senate hearings. That was, again, a Republican Senator John Kennedy, who apparently pissed him off about the Epstein files, and MAGA influencers are now openly mocking him and his investigative ability. It's not looking good. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.